Let's tell you about something that may be a bit of a confusion to a lot of people, especially followers of the People's Democratic Party and those who are closely watching that party. Today, we saw the Kabiru Turaki-led faction of the party saying it has manually submitted the name of former President Goodluck Jonathan as his presidential candidate for the 2027 general election. The press conference in Abuja, the faction's National Publicity Secretary, Ini Ememabong, says the interim leadership also submitted the names of his governorship, National Assembly, and State Assembly candidates in line with the Electoral Act 2026. Take a listen to him.
We are pleased to announce that notwithstanding INEC's refusal to provide us with the necessary access codes, the codes, of course, is an administrative convenience rather than a legal requirement. We have successfully submitted manually and in full compliance with the Electoral Act 2026 the entirety of the list of candidates sponsored by the Authentic People's Democratic Party. This submission, containing the names of our presidential candidate, President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, GCFR, as well as all governorship and National Assembly and National and State Assembly candidates, receipt of which has been duly acknowledged by INEC. As part of the electoral timetable, INEC will soon publish the names of candidates sponsored by political parties. Should the Commission publish names other than those validly and legally submitted by us, we urge our members, supporters, and teeming Nigerians who are eagerly waiting for the candidature of President Jonathan and other candidates of our party not to despair. We are exhausting every constitutional, legal, and democratic avenue to ensure that our party is not hijacked or annexed to the ruling political party. Any responsible electoral management body confronted with the situation where the PDP is, with conflicting judicial pronouncements and a pending appeal before the Court of Appeal, would exercise restraint pending the final determination of issues. Such caution would protect both the integrity of the electoral process and the rights of all parties. We sincerely hope that INEC, under the leadership of Professor Joash Amopitan, will adopt this prudent course.
Ini Ememabong speaking on behalf of the Turaki-led People's Democratic Party. Let me show you the faces of those who at least we know somehow that their names might be on the ballot. Take a look at what they might look like, from the APC to the NDC, the ADC, in the ADC, Atiku Abubakar. In the APC, it's Bola Tinubu. NDC, Peter Obi. SCP, Prince Adewale Adebayo. PRP, Donald Duke. AAC, Omoyele Sowore. Goodluck Jonathan, Senator Sandy Ono. Who exactly is going to be between these two men is still left to be seen. But it's less than a year to Nigeria's next general election. The political conversation is no longer just about who wins, but whether the country is being offered a genuine choice. Across the ruling APC and the opposition, questions are growing over leadership, party democracy, accountability, and the capacity to tackle Nigeria's economic and security challenges. In a thought-provoking article titled "Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea, Political Strategies," and a former APC National Vice Chairman Northwest, Salihu Nukman, is arguing that unless the opposition closes ranks, strengthens its internal structures, and presents a clear vision for governance, many Nigerians may struggle to see a meaningful alternative. It is a conversation that goes right into the heart of the choices before many Nigerians as we go into the very crucial election race. I'm now being joined by the man who penned that article, Salihu Nukman. It's a very good honor to have you join us tonight on the program.
Thank you very much.
And I'll begin from the last comment made by the last guest on this program yesterday night, which is Mr. Festus Keyamo, who says 2027 election is more of coronation than election. Do you agree? Your article seemed to have agreed with what Festus Keyamo said, that 2027 will be more of coronation than election.
Sean, this is the pain. The pain every Nigerian is going through is that Nigeria desires a change for the better. by every standard of measurement, APC and President Asuwaju have disappointed Nigerians.
Is there a poll to show that?
You don't need a poll more than your own well-being. Even President Asuwaju himself, if he sit alone, he will admit to himself, he's not happy with the way he has handled things in Nigeria.
Well, I mean, are you sure about that? I mean, because the people around the villa, do you think they always allow presidents? Whenever you know that when presidents are in that villa, it's like a cage.
Sheun, we can lie to ourselves. They can lie to themselves. But like I said in that article, the reality before us is almost like living in a tear gas environment. The 10 people are going through. You don't need any deeper analysis or search to be able to see it or feel it. Now, I mean, when I talk of the space between the devil and the WC, I mean, it's not to right of the opposition. When we started the advocacy for the coalition about 2 years ago, it was done based on the expectation that we will unite leaders of the opposition and at the same time focus on building the party to present an alternative in such a way that everybody will see this time around we are having a party which by the time we have elected representatives, they will be accountable to the party and there will be clear vision in terms of policies. Now, depend here we are practically go back to where we were in 2023. The same main actors have split again. And in fact, the arrogance of APC people is basically on account of our inability to present a united front and show that we are truly challenging the APC and President Asuwaju, which is why Festus Keyamo can make the statement he made about coronation. Now, I am highlighting all these issues largely because we need to wake up to understand that Nigerians are looking forward to all of us to present that alternative, to move the country forward. And it's a question of our leadership in the opposition being ready and willing to make the sacrifices needed, not to now put personal ambition over and above the destiny of the country. So these are the issues, Sheun. And sincerely speaking, we have to challenge our leaders. We have gone around almost 2 years of negotiation. We entrusted everything in the hands of the leadership of the opposition to drive the process, and we have come to this point. The position of many of us is that we need to come back and take up the challenge and drive the process ourselves to get the opposition to, and it has to be transparent.
Let me ask you, Malam Lukman, you were one of the intellectual architects of the APC merger in 2013 and played a significant role in its emergence in Nigeria's governing ruling party. Today, you describe APC as a failed party, weakened by sycophancy, propaganda, and institutional collapse. You, as an intellectual, one of the intellectual architects of the party, do you accept the blame? Are you accepting responsibility of what you have said has befallen Nigeria in your article?
Look, Sheun, I don't need to, belabor the issue.
Well, you accept complicity.
Look. When we started in 2012, 2013, advocacy for the man, we were very clear. We wanted a party that is progressive. We wanted a party that will bring about change in Nigeria, change in terms of throwing up political competition.
You said so about Bola Tinubu too, and what it will do for Nigeria.
The reality is that over time, the process of degeneration in APC, it has been there, and we've been engaging the issues. making advocacy, appealing
You've
to
written
leaders.
a lot of open letters, and you
appealing
have
to
said,
leaders.
so in your own
That
mind,
is the frustration that drove some of us out of
including
APC.
someone like Nasir El-Rufai.
Of course, yes.
You are of the
Many
school of
of
thought
us.
of Nasir El-Rufai. And this is not about selfish ambition, is it?
It's
you were not recognized.
Look, go and check. I mean, I have said so to people. If I wanted to aspire to contest for election, even currently, I could have done so. But many of us are very clear what needs to happen, where we need to invest our own talent and our own personal resources is more in terms of getting the party right. This democracy will remain a joke once we don't have a party standing on its foot.
You said, and invariably what you are saying tacitly is that the Tinubu and the APC-led government has failed Nigerians.
That is very clear.
And there are no basis for you to think that they've even tried. You don't think that there are any indices
between you and I, the challenge before us as patriots, as Nigerians, is to do everything possible to get APC and President Tinubu out of government.
Just for the sake of it?
Not for the sake of it.
For what purpose?
We have to move this country forward in such a way that Nigerians will be proud with the country they have. We have to have a government that will be able to manage resources in the interest of ordinary people.
And there's no hope in this Bola Tinubu's
there is no,
trajectory.
Even by his own yesterday, go back yesterday, what did he was appealing to his governors to stop constructing flyovers. I mean, this is a party that is boasting of over 30 governors.
Is it redeemable?
It's because it's not redeemable. That is why the opposition must get its act together and present a viable, where we don't want to go and contest an election and end up with what Keyamu said yesterday about coronation.
Invariably, you think that if we go the way we are going, Tinubu is landslide.
This is exactly, look, like I said in that article you referred to, at the moment, confidence of Nigerians in the electoral process is very low. So the probability of voter apathy is very high.
So people may just think, oh, and this is coronation. We don't need to go out anyways.
Go and check. Once there is voter apathy, incidences of electoral manipulation, rigging, and what have you will be high. So like I said in that article, at the end of the day, we may end up with a situation, it's a case of who can rig better. And so far, rigging is a function of the resources you control. I mean, check incidences of vote buying now is so high. So look, we need to get in. Right now, Nigerians don't have much confidence in even the opposition, largely because we remain divided.
Let's be truthful to ourselves. I mean, and I don't want us to tonight be talking politics. I want us to talk as patriots, people who are patriotic to this country and who love this country genuinely. You paint this government as though there's nothing good that has come out of their performance so far since 2023.
Look, Jewon, go and play back. If you remember, I was the first to flag up, I mean, my own worry, as far back as around, I think, July 2023. That time I was still a member of APC, when I wrote about disturbing signals, when the issue of removal of subsidy was not backed by any concrete policy.
Cushioning.
To cushion the effect and ensure that there is a clear direction that the country will benefit from that policy. At the same time, there was the question of deregulating the exchange rate and floating it and what have you. So, look, I mean, at the moment, Sheun, go and check. We are running about 3 or 4 budgets concurrently. And at the same time, you hear agencies and ministries complaining about not getting the
capital releases.
The capital releases. Why are we having that kind of situation? Yet, what you keep hearing is that part of the achievement of the government is that, I mean, there is they have saved from subsidy and there is more money now. So what is the issue?
Because this government will say that the pains is going to be temporary. We are almost entering into the 4th year, and they say we'll start seeing the gains. And if you ask anyone in this government, they will tell you about NEL fund. They will tell you about the credit core. They will tell you about what they are doing in terms of healthcare, what they are doing in terms of the education reforms. And they will say, look, there hasn't been anything like this that have been done in terms of reforms, tax reforms, and all of that in the
let's talk as patriots.
Yeah, and the question I would like to ask is that we know that things were difficult before this government got into power. And are you saying that this government is just all a ruse or a lie, that Nigerians should never think and believe whatever they say to us?
It's for them to prove themselves, but the evidences are very clear in terms of even production indices. I mean, check. This is an agricultural country. What is the state of agriculture today? We import more food than we were importing in 2023. Most farmers now cannot recover their cost, largely because cost of input have skyrocketed. I mean, look, these are basic. What we need, if, for instance, APC and President Asuwaju are progressive as they claim, simple recognition of these challenges may enable Nigerians to say, okay, since they admit these problems exist, maybe they have some commitment to address them. But they are in denial. Every day what you hear from them is that the government is achieving a lot.
So as far as you're concerned, Nigerians should write off this government?
I have written the government off.
Would you say this is the worst government we had since the Fourth Republic?
Look. I don't want to go in that direction. But I can argue that Nigeria deserves better
than what we get into.
Than what we are having.
Let me ask you. You painted a bleak picture in that article. You are arguing that Nigerians are faced with a choice between the ruling APC and opposition that is hardly different. If both sides are fundamentally flawed, and you effectively asking Nigerians to lose faith in the democratic process, or what?
What I'm asking Nigerians is we must challenge the opposition to also sit up and prove that they are different.
You are a member of the opposition.
I'm a member of the opposition.
You're a member of the
and
APC.
Which is what...
Right?
Yes, I'm a member of the APC.
Is the APC a formidable opposition? Does it have a platform?
I am arguing that we are not doing enough. And we must engage our leaders to wake up and ensure that, and when I say our leaders, not just ADC, what I want as a Nigerian is that I want the situation where the opposition will present a united front based on clear agreement.
Point blank. And you've been in politics for years. You know it. You've worked with parties to birth governments. So you know what can win or what cannot win. Can an Atiku in a free, fair election defeat Bola Tinubu if elections were conducted tomorrow?
Because I'm having difficulty to answer that very positively. That is why I'm challenging us to sit up and do what will give confidence that that is possible.
With the status quo, you think that Bola Tinubu can defeat anyone as it is today?
As it is, yes.
Peter Obi against Bola Tinubu.
Look,
Donald Duke against Bola Tinubu.
My argument, Sheun, let's not belabor the issue. This is the same scenario that played out in 2023.
Disunity in opposition.
Disunity in opposition.
So you are asking for a coalition.
I'm asking, that has been my...
Is that possible?
I'm saying it is possible.
I thought that...
I am arguing that what is required at this point is to take it to the doorstep of our leaders in the opposition, to prove their patriotic disposition to the country and show that they are willing to make the needed sacrifice to bail the country out of its current situation. And I don't think it's too much to ask. This is a generation of leadership that the country has invested almost everything in them.
Well, let's be precise in what you are asking the opposition leaders to do. In practical terms, are you asking them to collapse their political party structures and unify into one, or what exactly?
Thank you for
how would you go about what you are proposing?
Thank you for asking that question. And we are going to come out. We are doing consultation. We are going to be very clear by the early next week about all of these things. We have to force them to negotiate it. Because at the end of the day, yes, we have NDC, we have ADC, we have, you can see even PDP now is in 2 factions. It is for, look, we have to, not mistake, the challenge we had in the past is that we have trusted the opposition leadership too much, and we surrendered the process in their hands. And it's been mismanaged almost to the point that we'll go back. As a Nigerian, honestly, it's a nightmare to think of APC and President Asuwaju having another 4 years.
You think what will happen if they win?
I mean, clearly, they have no answer to the challenge. Things keep getting worse.
Nigeria could go under, or what are you suspecting could happen?
As a person, I want to be optimistic that Nigeria will not go under, but I want to see evidential reason to support me. So
when the government of the day and the APC says Nigeria is on the right trajectory, IMF, the World Bank are saying their policy is the right policy and they are going in the right direction. You don't think all of those are true?
Shewun, you and I are here. When I wake up, my situation is getting worse. I'm struggling, my income has not increased at all. And I'm using myself as a reference point because that is the situation facing every Nigerian. And every day you wake up, what is the inflation rate now? Go and check. Every day, prices keep going up. And we are all struggling. What is you describe, all of us are supposed to be part of middle class. We have been debased.
Malam Lukman, let me ask you, the practicality of what you are saying is that we should have a coalition. And the term, just a moment, sir, the term merger, it was what you and your colleagues worked for pre-2015. In 2013, 2012, 2013, you were working towards it. You achieved it in 2015, and it achieved the aim, the change agenda of the merger of the coalition at that time was to the effect that they were going to remove Goodluck Jonathan. And there are those who say at the time, they were even comparing Goodluck Jonathan to a goat. They were comparing him as clueless. They said all manner of things to Goodluck Jonathan. And you guys were the ones who raised the propaganda. You said it was the worst thing that could happen to Nigeria. It happened, you formed the merger, you replaced Goodluck Jonathan. And there are those who will be thinking now that you helped to build the coalition that you condemn today. Isn't history repeating itself?
Look, Shewun, I thank you for bringing these issues. Go back and play the last 2 years. From the beginning, what we keep arguing is that the coalition will only be meaningful if all opposition leaders are united under one party.
Is that not too late now?
It's not.
They've gone into their different, they are all going to the ballot. Who would you say should jettison his own ticket and form coalition?
All we are asking, there is only one parameter required in this matter. And that parameter is simple. Leaders should put the country over and above their personal interests. And on the basis of that, we should be able to see those who don't believe in the country. Because once you can't put your ambition, you can't put the country over your...
Let me put you right on the spot. What would be your best scenario? You have put Bola Tinubu and Shetima and the APC on this side, and you say Nigerians should reject them. What would be the best scenario that you think that the rest of the Nigerian people...
I will answer it straightforward.
Yeah.
The best scenario will be a situation where all the opposition leaders come together, and on the basis of that say, okay, for this 2027 election, these are based on ABCD, who we are supporting. We will all queue behind that.
If you are to suggest tonight, and I know that I'm putting you, and I said it again, if you are to make that suggestion, would you say Atiku should step down and support Peter Obi, or Peter Obi should step down and support Atiku, or who exactly would be the leading light?
I'll put it differently.
Okay.
My argument will be both of them should be ready to step down for one person. Both of them have to come ready for that.
So you don't think
because
that
at the end of
the two of them should not be should not be the front liner?
I mean, I'm not saying the two of them should not. One of them can be in the front line.
Okay, and one should back the other up.
However it is, and it's a function of negotiation. And my own argument is simple. They should ask themselves, if they continue the way they are going and end up losing the election, is that what they want? What will be their, in fact, it's simply, at the end of the day, shutting themselves out completely.
But you said Atiku and Obi are not fundamentally different. On what basis are you saying that?
My argument is that at the moment, we can talk in terms of personality. And we have seen, I mean, we don't want to talk in terms of personality. Let's negotiate on the basis of which we see the commitment, what they are committing themselves to. And on the basis of that, we can say, okay, this is the distinction. But I am more interested in getting them to have a distinction that will show them over and above President Asuwaju.
So let's conclude this conversation. You're saying Bola Tinubu and the APC are on the road to victory if opposition does not get its act together, and you are predicting that if they insist, they are all going to fail. Is that what you are saying?
That is what
would be your final hard-hitting word to them tonight? If you are to face Atiku face-to-face, Peter Obi face-to-face, Donald Duke face-to-face, Showore face-to-face, Adewale Adebayo face-to-face, what would be your parting words to them tonight?
My parting word will be that we are going to confront them and ensure that they prove to Nigerians they love Nigeria more than their personal ambition. And on the basis of that, contest the 2027 election as a united front.
Malam Saliu Lukman, a former APC National Vice Chairman Northwest, who is now a leader in the ADC. Thank you so much indeed. And always a pleasure reading your article. Always thought-provoking. Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.